I'm J. Cardinal Villeneuve, writer-director of The Mourning, which is a horror tale ghost story about a grief-stricken young woman who becomes tormented by the familiar creaking sounds of an upstairs tenant who recently passed away. It's a slow burn descent into horror. And we open in a cemetery where we find Jael, the main character, leaning against a headstone, crying. It's a gloomy day, and we slowly push in on her. The entire film is like one long Mickey Rooney. Jael returns home to find two paramedics carrying away a body. And we hear the voice of an elderly woman. It's revealed to be the landlady, explaining to her that the tenant upstairs was just found dead and that she'll be in the house alone for a while. She lives in a basement suite. That night, she's lying in bed crying. She's in mourning, Jael. And she can't sleep, and she begins to hear these creaking sounds above her, like when you're in a basement and you can hear somebody walking around upstairs. And she starts to become slowly tormented by these sounds because no one's supposed to be up there, and she's dealing with her own grief, and this is only happening at night over several nights. And she becomes fixated on this bookshelf in her room. It's a bookshelf that separates the stairwell leading upstairs. And she's always staring at it. And we're always focused on Jael. She carries this sense of foreboding, this look of impending dread throughout the film. And she's not a weak person. She's just in a vulnerable state of mind. So we're on her, staring at this bookshelf. And she's horrified. And we can hear all this noise, but we can't see what's happening. And we cut to the bookshelf, and it's empty, and there's books scattered all over the floor. And in an act of desperation, she pulls the bookshelf out just enough so that she can squeeze through and get upstairs. Now, I really want to show the horror coming from Jael and play with the audience's imaginations this way. So we're upstairs, it's dark, the light bulbs are all gone, the moonlight is illuminating through the windows, and we can see white sheets over furniture and dead plants and religious art. And so Jael's creaking around from room to room, and the creaking becomes almost deafening, and she's scaring herself because she can see shadows and things out of the corner of her eye, and suddenly she stops dead in her tracks. We hear the faint sounds of crying. Jael slowly descends back down the stairwell and peers through the bookshelf. And like she's just seen a ghost, her face emits pure horror. And she looks like she's having an odious panic attack. And off her look, we hear the sounds of mourning.